Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back on the YouTube video, and this time we're going to try to get 12 wins in this grand challenge using PEKKA LOON Freeze. So, I don't know if you guys have seen this deck. It's known as Anaban's deck because he was the one who made this deck. I think he got a #1 finish in the world with it, I'm going to say a few seasons ago, but he's also gotten multiple top 10s with it. He's the one, I think, who made the deck. I really like the deck though. I think it has a really solid surprise factor to it because, you know, obviously you have the Freeze, you have the PEKKA and the Balloon, and usually you don't see PEKKA and Balloon in the same deck. You have the Lumberjack to rage up everything. Maybe you rage up like a Balloon, a PEKKA, Baby Dragon, just allowing it to get so much more value. And then you have solid defense with the Tornado, Baby Dragon, Ice Wiz combination, activating King. Is just so easy to do with this deck because of the Tornado and then the Ice Wizard slowing things down, making it even easier to pull them to the King Tower. So let's go ahead and go into the first game. As I said, we're 9-0. That means we can afford to lose 1 or 2 games, but ideally we want to try to get to the 12 without dropping a single game. That would be really nice. So we're going versus Tex Gaming here. We're going to go ahead and cycle our Zap on his Barb Barrel. With this deck, you're going to be, you know, comfortable leaking Elixir until you really know what they're using. In fact, with this kind of deck, you almost want to wait until double, because now that we cycled our Zap, there's really nothing else we want to do right here. We could cycle an Ice Wizard, but to be honest, I'm fine waiting. And with him having Barb Barrel, probably means it's going to be Graveyard, it could be Golem, it could be, you know, a few different things, but since he's going to be waiting as well, we know it's not going to be most likely a fast cycle deck. It's probably either going to be Golem or Graveyard. So Golem is a really easy matchup for this deck because you have PEKKA, you have Ice Wiz, and you have Nado. So many ways of dealing with the Golem, but Graveyard's a bit tricky, but you still can win by, you know, screwing them over by getting a really good, you know, rage off or just, you know, cheesing them with the Freeze. Really depends, but you definitely can outplay them. But the reason why it's a little tricky is unless you activate the King when you're versus Graveyard, you don't have a ton of ways of dealing with their Graveyard, because, I mean, you do have Baby Drag, Zap, and then you can, like, Nado pulling stuff back, but overall not too many answers. So we're going to wait here, and then if he doesn't do anything for a little while longer, I'm probably going to go ahead and just cycle my Ice Wizard in the back, but otherwise I think we just want to chill here for a little bit longer. Maybe at around like 105, I'll just go ahead and cycle my Ice Wizard. I mean, I guess we could do it now, because he's, I mean, you know, we already know he must be using a heavy deck. He's going to have Ice Wizard as well, so definitely looking like a Graveyard deck at this point. We're going to go ahead and play our Baby Dragon too. There it is. So we know it can't be a mirror matchup because obviously he's already, let's pull everything together so we're splashing it all. I was going to go for Dark Prince. So at this point it's Golem or Graveyard 100%, and it looks like he is going to be using Golem. So what we probably want to do here is pressure opposite lane with Lumberjack and Balloon, because he's not going to be able to support his Golem if he's defending this too much. So I'm actually a little surprised he went for, oh wow, he just messed up the Tornado. If you guys didn't know, it's so much harder to Nado a Balloon to your King Tower when it's raged up. That's why the rage is so good in this deck. Really just throws people off sometimes, which it clearly did to Tex Gaming here. So we're just going to go ahead and I think Nado this mini PEKKA to the King Tower, because I think we're fine taking a hit considering we already have such a good lead. And then at this point, let's just go Lumberjack, Balloon, and then Freeze if he doesn't have Lightning and Cycle, so he's going to have to Nado this, try to get a good Nado off. But with us freezing the Ice Wizard in the tower, I think we still should get a connection. It's still raged up, and that's going to be GG. 10-0 now. He's laughing, obviously not really happy. As I already said, this deck does super good versus Golem, so I know a lot of people hate Golem, and if you're one of those people, then this might be the deck for you, because it's just a really solid deck against it, because you just have PEKKA, Ice Wiz, Nado, and then you have such an easy time pressuring the other lane with, you know, Lumberjack, Loon, and then just freezing. So 10-0. Let's go ahead and search for the next game. We're finding the games pretty quick. It often can take a long time to find matches towards the end of the GC, but we're finding them quite quick. So we found a game here versus Ennis. We could, alright, I was going to say we'll wait and see what he wants to do. He's going to go ahead and play a Bandit in the back. So Bandit, I mean, most of the time means PEKKA, but there's also a lot of people using Bridge Band with Ram Rider, so it could be that. So he's going to have a Goblin Cage. So Goblin Cage Bandit, I'm thinking maybe like, Not too sure yet. We'll see. I'm thinking like it's probably some type of bridge spam deck. Maybe it's 3M. Ooh, could it be Mega Knight Royal Hogs? Yeah, that's a pretty popular deck too. I think it's Mega Knight Royal Hogs, and the reason why I say that is because he already has the Bandit, he already has the Goblin Cage. Can't think of, you know, really anything else it could be. It's not going to be an air deck, I don't think, with him having Bandit. So I also don't think it's going to be Graveyard. I think it really does have to be Mega Knight Royal Hogs. So once again, we're going to wait a little while here. I mean, if you just look at my starting hand, you can clearly see there's just nothing I'm willing to cycle. Why would I cycle a nado or freeze, and especially PEKKA in the back? And even though I know his deck, it's still not safe to PEKKA in the back because he'll just rush Royal Hogs opposite lanes, so it's just not a safe play at all. And in this situation, it's just so much better to wait. I bet you pretty soon he might cycle like a Magic Archer or Ewiz in the back, and then we can go for PEKKA same lane as it, but until he does that, it's not a good idea at all to just drop a PEKKA. So honestly, if he doesn't do anything when we get to double, then I might do it, but I'm not going to do it in single. No way. He's still waiting here. I'm actually really curious as to, you know, why he's waiting, because this Mega Knight Royal Hog deck, I mean, even though it's quite expensive, I think it's decent in single. But, wow, I'll cycle a nado. And he's just going to go for delivery. So maybe it isn't Mega Knight Royal Hog, because I'm kind of, at this point, unsure. Well, there's the Royal Hogs. There's the Bandit. So obviously, Tower is going to be raged up here. We're going to go ahead and go in for our Balloon. We can go for a Baby Dragon as well. Can nado the Magic Archer so it gets splashed by the Baby Drag. And Balloon is going to go on top of his tower. And he might play an Ewiz, but we can just freeze it. That is definitely going to take his tower. And that's going to be end up being GG. Really short and sweet game, kind of like the last one. You know, you gotta wait. The thing is with Anaban's deck, with this Loon Freeze deck, you do have to wait until double, until you're able to get your pushes off. But if you can get to double, this deck often has matchup versus almost everything in Double Elixir because it's pretty expensive. You can build up a push, and again, I think the surprise factor kind of, you know, threw him off again. I mean, really, even though this, you know, Anaban's deck, a lot of people have seen it, I just feel like there's so many people who just, for whatever reason, seem to be kind of almost surprised when like I used all the cards or whatever. Just because if it's not Anaban using it, it's just, you're not gonna expect it, right? So we found a game here versus Leggy. He's gonna go Wall Breaker, so I think we just go for a Tornado. And if he's using some Wall Breaker cycle deck, this is gonna be a good matchup, I'm pretty sure, because like, they typically don't have a lot of air counters. Now, if this is Mega Knight Wall Breakers, he might have a little bit more of a chance, but I feel like if he has, like, yeah, it probably is going to be Mega Knight Wall Breakers since he has the Bandit. So is he going to zap the Ice Wiz here, try to get the Bandit to dash on the tower? Yeah, he does, so pretty well played on his part. I think we want to leak here, just wait and see what he wants to do. And I guess we'll cycle a Baby Dragon. I wonder at this point if he knows what we're using. And yeah, he is going to be using Mega Knight Wall Breaker. So as I already said, definitely going to be a little bit easier for him, but it still shouldn't be too hard for us. And since he just used his delivery, I'm actually going to go for a Lumberjack Loon because I was going to say Bats and Musketeer are going to be his only air counters. And yeah, the Balloon is going to for sure get yeah, a connection. Might have not been the best defense there on my end. I might have just should have... I don't know. I was trying to, like, even up things, because obviously he had a lot of damage on my right lane, but maybe that wasn't the best play to nado 2 Elixir Wall Breakers, and then the Bandit gets all that damage on the left. It's really going to depend here if we're able to defend and hold on. That's going to kind of be the question. If we're able to do that, then it probably was the right play. If he goes for a Bandit at the bridge, I'm definitely going to go for a PEKKA on top of it. But we'll kind of have to see what he wants to do. I guess we'll just go PEKKA. Okay, that was perfect. He played a bandit in the back right into where we're dropping a P.E.KKA. I'm actually going to go zap these wall breakers. They won't connect. Let's go for a lumberjack. Let's go for a balloon. And then we can freeze. And that should hopefully be tower down. Now, he's probably going to take our tower for sure because of how aggressive we were. But I'm still going to try to defend because, you know, obviously it's not a guarantee. Oof. Alright, so guys, unfortunately he's going to take our tower. That's a little bit, wouldn't say unlucky, but sucks that that happened because now we're not really in the best situation to win at that point, win at this point since our tower on the right is so low, but we'll see if we can make something happen here. It's not going to be easy though. So we do get a really nice nado off there. Let's go for a little bit of opposite lane pressure. We might need to try to get a good freeze off here. We do get a balloon connection. We don't get a second one though, unfortunately. We're gonna go for a zap here. We're going to try to sneak a baby dragon in the pocket. And it looks like we get the connection we need. That's going to be GG. We have a really nice win here. Wouldn't really say a comeback from behind, but we really, that was really clutch. So we get 12-0 in this Grand Challenge. It was really nice and easy. Actually, an extremely short video. I might want to show a couple replays or maybe hop into one ladder match maybe playing this deck. Because, yeah, really short video. I usually like to play more than 3 games, but wow, super happy we got the 12-0. I mean, you know, as I said, this is a really solid deck. And by the way, those players I versed were really good. I recognize their names. They definitely playing some competitive things. So I already have everything maxed out, but let's see if we get a legendary. That's going to be extra star points, which is nice. And we're going to get a graveyard. So, yeah, let me just show you guys their profile because they're pretty good players. I mean, this guy, best finish 103. He's decently high up right now. Look at all this. He has 100 GCs won. You know, 20 wins, obviously. And then this guy, Ennis, pretty good player as well. He's not really a ladder player, but he's a decent competitive player. 10 GCs won, 20 win player, and I think he has, like, other accounts that he's, like, played a lot of GCs on. And we'll look at this guy here. Yeah, 20 wins as well. So, let's maybe, we'll do one replay, and then I'll also hop into a ladder match, and then that should, wrap up I think, the video. So we'll put it on 2x speed and single. This is against Elixir Golem. Elixir Golem Barb Hut, I think, is still semi-viable, even though the healer and the Barb Hut got a small nerf. I still think a few people use it, so I think it would be good for you guys to know how to play this matchup because it's really easy. Because the freeze and nado just come in handy so much in this matchup, make things super easy for you when you're defending those, you know, massive E-Golem pushes. It really might seem intimidating when they, you know, build up those huge E-Golem healer pushes, but when you have like P.E.K.K.A, when you have, you know, Baby Dragon, Ice Wiz, nado, freeze even, it's really not that hard. So you're gonna see here, let's slow things down. Good defense here. What I do is I nado the Elixir Golem to the king. Remember, when the Elixir Golem hasn't broke yet, and it's in the big form, you're unable to do it. You have to wait until it's in the smaller form, and just like that, we activate the king really easily. And then at this point, we're just in such a good position to win. Goes in for a Barb Hut, has no elixir to defend the balloon. I mean, he tries to go for a Desperation Tornado, Doesn't work. I go for Pekka at the bridge because he's so low on elixir, but he actually does a nice job defending this. Takes very, very little damage. But yeah, pretty much this was just the end of the game. You know, you can see really easy to defend. Their Eagle and pushes. He tries to build up a push here at the end. It just gets nadoed, just gets frozen. Ice Wizard's doing work, and just like that, gets stopped super easily. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the game. So I don't know if I had any other good games in this GC. Golem Clone, I don't think that's worth showing because it's just so easy. You have Nado for the clone. And then the Fast Cycle Miner Wallbreaker deck, it's even easier than that one because they don't have delivery. Then there is Pekka here, which I could show. I actually versed Pekka twice. Yeah, let's do Pekka. Just to kind of like show you guys that it's easy to beat Pekka because they don't have a lot of air counters. They only have Magic Archer, Ewiz, and just, yeah, they don't have a lot of air counters. So you see here, after he goes in for a Pekka, he's going to have only 3 elixir, and he's just unable to defend this balloon. I mean, he finally gets an Ewiz down last second, but that's kind of what you need to do. When they go in for your Pekka, you go for balloon opposite lane. So I messed up the nado there. That would have actually activated King, but the reason why it didn't is because the Ice Wizard, unfortunately, was still in the other lane, and it was at 1 HP, so it distracted the Ewiz, which kind of sucked. But it was a nice attempt to activate the King, and unfortunately I didn't get it, which results in me losing a ton of damage. So you can see, with this kind of heavy deck, if you make one single mistake, it can just end up sometimes costing you the game. Luckily it didn't this time, but it definitely can. So he cycles like 2 ground cards, perfect time for us to go for a Pekka. He's going to go for his own Pekka, and again, whenever they Pekka, they're low on elixir, so you're going to be going in for a balloon. I nadoed the Ewiz into the other lane. That's another big tip with this deck. If someone plays like a Musketeer or an Ewiz, they're just asking for it to get nadoed into the other lane if you have a Tornado in cycle. If I remember correctly, he does end up taking the right tower, but after he does, he just doesn't, you know, just in a really bad situation because obviously his King tower is super low. So, yeah, at this point, I'll speed it up 4 times because basically all we need to do here is just defend the left and then going for one more push on the King tower, and then that wraps up this game. So, a nice defensive freeze, but then after that battle ram, no way he could defend, and that's GG. So, as I said, let's hop into one ladder match. I'm currently top 400 at 7,100. I actually got to 7,200, but dropped a tiny bit. But let's go ahead and, yeah, just play one ladder match with this deck because I finished the GC pretty quick. And I showed you guys 2 replays, but they were on 2x speed majority of the time, so just want to get one ladder game in, because you guys really do like, I think you guys like ladder gameplay more than GC gameplay anyway, so I'll throw in one game. Win or loss, I don't really mind, but try to play my best regardless of what I verse. I will say, Expo, specifically Icepo, is a really, really bad matchup, but luckily, Icepo, I feel like it's used a lot in the top 200, but it's not really the type of deck you're versing a ton in GCs, which is good. So if you're looking to play GCs or Classics with this deck, you should be fine. So reverse Catwoman, let's go ahead and cycle a Zap. As I said, cycling Zap is fine, but then anything else you're just going to want to wait at that point because, you know, it's a pretty expensive deck. We're going to go ahead and cycle Baby Dragon. He's going to have Mega Minion. He's also going to have Sparky. So we're going to go ahead and just Pekka same lane as the Sparky. We have Zap and Freeze, but it can still be really tricky. But we'll see what we can do here. What you do is you freeze. And zap the Sparky, which really helps you out. I was worried that I was going to get a hit. I had a feeling, though, it wasn't going to. It was super close, though. I was debating whether I wanted a nado. I'm glad I didn't, because obviously it would have gone to waste. So we're up a couple elixir. We're going to cycle a lumberjack in the back. We're actually going to go for a balloon. Even though I know he has Mega Minion and probably other ways of dealing with it, I still think it's a good play because we were just up Elixir and it's just forcing all... Okay, so we get the King activated. Getting the King activated is a really, really important thing to do with this deck, especially when you're verse pretty much anything verse. Or I was going to say pretty much anything except Expo. It's really, really important. Because you're going to have, you know, an easier time defending, like the Giants in this matchup, Mini P.EKKA, really anything like that. So here he goes again with another Sparky push. We'll see if we can defend it this time. And he does go for a Giant in front. We're going to go ahead and freeze, and then we're going to go play a Lumberjack. He's going to go for a Fireball. He doesn't Fireball the Lumberjack, so we can zap again, resetting the Sparky. We're actually going to go ahead and play a P.EKKA in the back. Now the question is he going to, I was going to say rush the opposite lane, but it looks like with that Sparky in the back, he's definitely not going to. If he's smart, he's going to be saving the, okay. So that was a super aggressive push on his end. We're going to nado that Ewas into the opposite lane. We finally get our first balloon connection of the game. Okay, it's time to go in. Baby Dragon should push the balloon. And just like that, we get our second balloon connection of the game. Now this defense is definitely going to be a little sketchy here. Unfortunately, guys, that's going to 100% be GG because unless he like loses connection or something, I think he can cycle back to another Fireball before we're unable to get another balloon hit on his tower. So yeah, unfortunately, that is going to be GG. Did he just miss the? He's just BMing. That's unfortunate. All right, well, regardless, GG. Still a good video. We do end up getting the 12 win, but unfortunately, we do lose on ladder. Not really sure what that matchup is, but like obviously the Heal Spirit's annoying because it allows him to have a faster cycle. I think versus like a normal Sparky deck, that Sparky deck is definitely not meta. Like I've actually never seen that Sparky deck before, to be completely honest. He also has a Fireball, which is another balloon counter. If he were using Sparky Earthquake or Sparky Rage, that for sure would have been easier because he would have probably had minions and Musketeer, and minions you have Zap for. So definitely was a lot tougher, but still, I mean, he played it pretty well. But you know, as I said, Fireball, Ewas, and Mega Minion, all really solid balloon answers. But you know, we tried our best. But that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We got the 12-0, and I just think overall it's a really solid deck. Anavin's actually on my friends list, and I don't know if he has the deck on his. Oh, yeah, I mean, he's probably hiding the deck, but yeah, he's 35th right now. So yeah, super solid deck. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And let me know in the comments what decks you guys want me to win more grand challenges with, because last week of the season, it's really hard for me to play ladder live because it's super stressful. So I'm open to playing GCs with decks you guys want. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.